personally, that whole,
Very
but what about the vows thing? Vows are fine, great. You pledge something to each other in the beginning, but those are just words. That means absolutely fuck all in the end of all of it. What matters is the duty of marriage. What matters is the values that you stand on. And if neither one of you are standing on those values, then all this you supposed to like people that you married to. You're not gonna always like each other. Hell, you're not gonna always love each other. There are ebbs and flows to all of the emotions. Your values, your duty to your partner is what is going to keep you grounded. That is what I learned in my failed marriage. That is what I learned. That is what I look for now. If we cannot stand on the same thing, then there's absolutely no way that this is going to last, because I may not like you for a long while. But if we have something that tethers us together, duty, values, faith, yes, all of that has to be your foundation. Because fuck, like, I don't care if you like me. In the end of it, I need to know, are you going to support me? I need to know, are you still devoted to me? That is what I need to know. All of that other stuff will come back around. It's a circle. It's you'll come back to it. You'll come back to liking them. You'll come back to loving them. That's just what it is. If you're heavily devoted, and if you stand on what your foundation is, if your foundation is solid, you'll be fine. That is what I learned when I got divorced.
Yeah.
I would like to just kind of say to Sierra specifically, um, I don't like Lady Di, I don't like how you just said that to her, because it's like, you know how to be your husband's wife, not a wife in general. Because there's a way that you can be a wife to a man that would immediately want to like not be interested in you, right? Because you wouldn't be everybody's cup of tea. I'm not everybody's cup of tea. Nobody on here is everybody's cup of tea. So it's almost like to say to Sierra, oh, you don't want to listen, so I guess never be a wife. Maybe she doesn't want to be a wife the way you're a wife, and that can be okay. I don't think that that's like making it seem like everything is structural this one box way. Like, oh, to be a man and to be a husband is this one thing, and if you're not that, then we're questioning your masculinity. To be a wife is this one list of things, and if you're not that, then like you're just never going to be a wife, and we don't like you, and now we're going to start like being snippy and snooty. Like, I don't see how that's beneficial.
Yeah, but so the thing is, she didn't let me finish. So she didn't even know the type of wife I am, first of all. I get what you're saying, Leisha, but she didn't let me explain it, right? So I already know that she's not going to be the same wife that I am, because I have a whole nother, like I have a different husband. Whoever she meet is not going to be my husband at all.
I agree with Lady Di. I haven't even heard everything she has to say, but I agree. And the reason I agree, because there is a foundation of, and I'm not married, right? But I don't have to be married to know that there's a foundation of what a wife is supposed to be and what a husband is supposed to be. What we consider a good wife, what we consider a good husband, they're going to have similarities, even if they're different types of marriages. It's not going to be, oh, she's a good wife, and then she's going to be so different from another so-called good wife somewhere else. They're going to have foundations. They're going to have similarities in terms of characteristics of a good wife, in terms of characteristics of a good husband. Maybe there could be a few differences. Maybe there's a man who likes his chicken cooked in a different way. Maybe there's a man who prefers to get a maid over his woman cooking. But at the basis of the marriage, I don't think it takes rocket science to know that there's a basis of a good wife and a good marriage and a good husband. DJ?
Yeah, I think if you're speaking from a traditional standpoint, I think that you're I think that they are both coming from a different perspective. I think that that is coming from a biblical standard, right? But then you have the modern day new type of life of marriages, right? So the foundation that T.I. and Tiny have are not the typical foundations for things. And I think that it just, I think that all she's saying is it depends on who you are if you want to have that type of foundation. But I agree with foundational marriages 100%, the characteristics. And I agree what you said.
Yeah, I believe that a good wife is going to be a good wife everywhere. So whether it's about respect, respecting your husband, respecting your wife, but the way she made it seem that just because Lady Di may cook her husband 5 meals a day, and you know that makes her so much different. No, if she respects her husband, and this lady down here respects her husband, I think that's a characteristic. But to make it sound like as if there's a difference in being a wife, because at the end of the day, the institution is marriage. So if they all subscribe to the institution of marriage, there are similarities they're supposed to have for the marriage to work out. That's why they do a poll of the people who got divorced. Usually they have similarities in reasons they got divorced, whether it's about the money, whether it's about the cheating, because it's the same, rules and laws that governs the institution of marriage. Anyway, let me play some more.
You know that, and that's not what I was trying to explain to her. But I do know before I got married, I listened to women who were wives. I listened to all different type of wives. I'm just one to her. So getting advice from someone that's just a wife should be beneficial to her, period. I'm never going to say, go do this. And this is what my husband like. I don't even talk like that. But not letting me explain it because she has, her own opinion. I'm not even trying to talk about you, Sierra, because you're right here. I'm just saying this is the conversation that me and Laisha's having. It's just like, just let me finish what I'm saying, and then you can understand where I'm coming from. That's all I'm saying. So when I said that, then she's not going to be a wife, it's because she won't even listen to one, which is me, which I'm trying to explain. I wasn't being rude when I was explaining to her. She just kept cutting me, saying, well, I'm not this and I'm not that. Well, damn, let me explain what I'm trying to say. Okay, you don't want to hear it? I'm not going to explain it.
So
the reason why I've been so quiet, honestly, this entire time is because every time I speak, there's a problem. And then now all of a sudden I'm speaking over people. But when I was sitting here silent, listening the entire time, waiting to engage in the conversation and not just speak out the side of my neck, that wasn't appreciated. So no, I wasn't just speaking over top of you. I was taking my time to speak because I literally have not spoken. And I said that the last time I was here too.
Let me just say something like to clarify, or I'm sorry, to add some context to something I heard. I think Sierra has said, why are we always talking about marriage? And I think I know why. So Bougie, you interjected and you said, things look different. Like I said, subjectivity, right? Can I ask you a question really quick? If you were in a relationship, not even a marriage, do you want sexual exclusivity to your man? Meaning, would you get upset if he cheated on you with another woman? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. If Sierra was your best friend and she said, yo, I can't pay my rent. I really need some bread. Can I ask your man for money? Would that be cool if she asked your man for money?
No.
If she's my best friend?
Like, can he pay her rent for 6 straight months and take money out your household?
Hell no.
And you be cool with it?
Not with that example.
Okay,
no.
so the reason we always talking about marriage is because y'all took the rules from it. You want sexual exclusivity. You want financial exclusivity. Where do you think those rules come from? They come from the institution of marriage. That's why if it's really subjective, he gets to do whatever the hell he want to do, and you can't say shit. You get to do whatever you want to do, and he can't say shit. So
that's facts. That's what I was saying. That the institution of marriage has the same values for the most part. Maybe 60%, but the majority of at least 50%, the institution of marriage has the same values. But what has happened is that people pick and choose what they want to consider as marriage. Oh no, I'm not going to cook because that's the type of marriage I want. So women want the type of marriage where the man pays all the bills, doesn't ask them to cook, doesn't ask them to clean, doesn't lets them hang out with their girlfriends, go on girls trips, doesn't, hold them accountable. That's the perfect marriage most women would want. And I don't blame them, because they don't know what a wife is supposed to be. They were not taught. They know in marriage, okay, we sign the papers and then he gets to pay all the bills and it's a retirement plan. But it's not like, they don't scream, I want to be a wife. They scream, I want to be married. I want to provide a husband.